Can you feel it? The shivers? The inescapable desperation for any information about FromSoft's newest game, Elden Ring? Yes, I am that much of a fan that it gives me a physical ailment, and no, I will not apologize. Besides, you don't have to lie to me. We all feel it. We all cry ourselves to sleep at night. People have become so frustrated with FromSoftware's Iron Curtain on the game that they have started making up their own bosses and lore. So I decided, in between intermittent crying sessions, to map out some of my thoughts and wishes on the subject. Now I must warn you, the following video will contain speculation based solely on a few dubious leaks and my brain. And it's a list video, so let's just do this. Number 2, because you, it's my list. The obvious one, PvP. Now come over here and sit on my lap. I could tell you stories. Stories about desperate victories, grueling defeats, well-planned ambushes, less well-planned ambushes, and humiliation. Like that time my pet rat and I was chasing this coward of a host through the Earthel dungeon. To be fair, running away turned out to be the superior tactic. I was in hot pursuit when this happened. Cucked by my own furry ally. Or how about that time I stole a man's weapon and killed him with it? Or that time I killed 16 blues in a row before the numbers finally got to me. I really hate math. I'm not saying these things just to brag. I'm purely trying to make the point that Dark Souls 3 PvP is special. I love it to the point where it seems unhealthy. Now we don't know if Elden Ring is the spiritual successor to Dark Souls like Dark Souls was to Demon Souls, but come on FromSoft. End our suffering, please. Let there be invasions. Invasions allow for a different mindset in these games. As an invader, you're there to kill the host, but maybe you won't. Maybe the pale shirtless man only wants to give you items. To help you. Maybe. Anything goes in an invasion because the goal of the interaction is set by the players. Certainly, in most cases, that will probably lead to somebody dying, but there is a freedom here that you don't get in a straight-up deathmatch. You may come across a very original cosplay of Guts, or you may come across a beggar who only wants a piece of food from you. Now, Elden Ring has been defined as an open world game. What the hell does that mean? Well, that's all down to speculation, really. We don't actually know. Are we talking Ocarina of Time here? Are we talking Skyrim? Are we talking GTA? Will we have RPGs in Elden Ring? I would say yes, probably, but we don't know how the open world will function. Maybe we are only going to be able to invade certain areas. Or maybe a large circle spawns around the host and they will have to choose to either fight or flee. And while we're on the subject, how about a ping filter? Something, anything to make that connection feel just a tiny bit more crisp, because I feel like I have fought my fill of people leeching off of the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Number 5. Better New Game Plus. What does New Game Plus in Dark Souls 3 really give us? You don't have to answer that, I'm gonna do it right now in the video. It's a rhetorical device. It gives us slightly stronger enemies and a few upgraded drinks. Dark Souls 2 did it better with more and new enemies placed in areas where you hadn't seen them before. And quite frankly, I would like Elden Ring to take this concept, pump it full of steroids from Chernobyl. I want them to go through all the areas and rearrange the enemy placement and mob compositions completely. That would take a massive amount of effort, but it would also add a massive amount of replay value. Hell, I would even pay for that as DLC if I had to. Number 3. Traps. Like messages. Leaving a message is a community building action. You decide if you want to help a poor, inexperienced newbie or lure them to their death with the promise of treasure. We've all been there, laughing out loud at that message that says "try-tongue butthole." But now imagine a spear coming straight out of that butthole piercing your skull. The unpleasant imagery aside, this would be a pretty cool thing. Imagine setting up traps that would work just like messages, traps that traverse space and time to ambush players in their worlds. Certainly, there would have to be a limit on how many traps that could infest a person's instance, but this would help make the game more unpredictable. Some of my fondest memories are of getting penetrated by various traps, and someday someone is going to take that sentence out of context. Number 4. High spots. Dark Souls is not Super Mario. Your beef mountain warrior is not built to walk across rickety narrow bridges with no guardrails. And that's exactly why I love it. Never does my blood pump harder than when I try to traverse the rafters in Anor Londo or the scaffolding in Blighttown. My favorite area in Demon Souls is the Tower of Latria, just because of how unsafe I feel. Let me tell you about my Demon Souls experience.
Okay.
Ah! Fuck. So please, FromSoft, I want more broken castles, mountain pathways. I want you to force me through areas where the slightest misstep would send me careening down into the abyss. All the while I'm both cursing and praising your deviousness. They keep abusing me, and I keep coming back because I love them. And while we're on the subject of level design, how about making the bonfire areas, or whatever bonfire substitute you have, more intriguing? So many invasions boil down to the host running back to the bonfire for safety, so how about adding some verticality to the area instead of just a flat surface? Number 5. More ways to interact with anything and everything. You see, I like to touch things. Who doesn't really? And I really like it when certain things touch me. The point I'm trying to make here is that I want more interaction between the player and the world. In Souls, everything is out to kill you, strip you of your belongings and leave you face down in the puddle of your own freshly baked dung pies. But it would be nice that in between the monsters and the traps we could have a few things in the environment. Instead of destroying a barrel by lightly walking past it, maybe we could carry it up the stairs, or create a makeshift trap. Rain could make steep climbs slippery, and powerful gusts of wind could push players towards the edge of a cliff, unless you are over 70% carry weight, in which case your character are either a hoarder or just incredibly obese, and they could walk confidently through the storm. Number 69. A level editor. I want this more than anything else in this stupid video. I would blood sacrifice your grandmother to get it. Imagine having the options to download and play and invade on community levels. There isn't a lack of creative people out there in the wide world, so this would give the game an infinite amount of creativity. Just screw the thing I said earlier about putting enemy mobs in different compositions. No, this is where it's at. Level editor. And no, I don't mean the type like Bloodborne had. It's not it was challenge dungeons. I felt they were so boring to go through because the greatness of all Souls games, and that includes Bloodborne and your neighbor Sekiro, I would say rests within the holy trinity of combat mechanics, level design, and enemy design. The randomness of the challenge dungeons is a pale shadow of what a real human can do. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, by the time I was done making this video, just as I was about to upload it to the internet, to YouTube, there was another leak about Elden Ring, and I'm just gonna quickly summarize it. It wasn't anything super new or super special, and in fact we don't even know if we can trust it, but here's what it is. It said that the open world aspect of Elden Ring is going to be very similar to Shadow of the Colossus, so I expect it to look a lot like that. They said that the nature of the game will be inspired by Scotland, so that's going to be cool. Scottish fish type of flavor to it will make a lot of sense given who's making it and given the few pieces of information we've gotten so far. And that's about it. They did say there would be multiplayer, but the guy who were leaking shit, he wasn't actually a multiplayer guy like us. God damn it, FromSoft. I just want some information at this point. I just want to know, will we get invasions? Anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching my video. I really appreciate it. And a big thank you to every single one in the sanatorium who are very graciously giving parts of their body to me so I can play with it. If you don't want to donate a body part, you could go to my Patreon. That's an option that all of you guys have. You don't have to, but just be aware I might send a gaggle of crows your way with knives, knife-wielding crows. Just think about it for a moment. And I want you all to remember that I love you in that terrible, terrible way that only I can love you. Have a good one, everybody.